वेलकम सिंघवी सर, आपका पुनः स्वागत है आप ही के प्लेटफॉर्म पर स्पिरिचुअल डॉक्टर्स फॉर होलिस्टिक हेल्थ। लेट्स लर्न, हमें गाइड करें कि हम राइट नंबर कैसे लगाएं।
धन्यवाद है सबको, अभिनंदन और वेरी हैप्पी न्यू ईयर। दिस इज माय third talk on this forum, and it's like my family, and I appreciate and congratulate Dr. Sandeep, Dr. Ranjan, that they have taken this podium to the next level, and this year will be another level. And we know that if you see collectively how much knowledge has flown on this forum for last more than 2 years, significant. If you see the background of Dr. Sandeep, the health, the food, the fruits, the energy level, the pranayam, the yoga, everything has been there on his, still you can see on his background. Everything has been covered, leaps and bounds. Every time we learn the internal aspects और बाहर की दुनिया का कि जीवन जीना कैसे है। जब कुछ दिन पहले जब ऐसे बात हुआ तो सडनली स्पॉन्टेनियसली निकला, हमने इतना सारा तो हमने नॉलेज गेन किया और इतना गेन किया है, बहुत सारा बाकी है। लेकिन फिर भी एक मन में एक आया कि क्या हम ऐसे कर सकते हैं इस साल में, हमें एक डायरेक्शन मिले कि हम जो प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं क्या वो डायरेक्शन ठीक है। क्योंकि देखो यहाँ पे इतने लोग, so many people are there coming from different organizations, and if I say the spiritual organization on this planet are in thousands. Everybody has got their own knowledge, their own yoga sets, their own pranayam, their own kriyas, their own guru, and their own preachings and teachings. One has to think, am I at the right platform? Am I with the right guru? Am I, how to do that? I'm going to tell whether my spiritual progress in my life is in the right direction. Am I in the right place? In that context, I suddenly thought some very interesting guidelines and very simple things I want to give on my experience, whatever I have experienced. Let me begin with these 4 pillars. These 4 pillars will set the ball rolling. How we know that we are on a right track, and if the track is wavering, can we reset that track and we can always move further on. See, in Indian and on this, at least I consider Vasudev Kutumbakam. Whole planet is a single atom. Our whole earth is a single atom. We are not going to segregate east, west, north, south. But number 1 is the scriptures of the knowledge. That's the number 1 pillar. See, a lot of scriptures are there. Lot of knowledge is being imparted. But people on various forums, right from Facebook, WhatsApp, YouTube, they download, they learn the things. We have to see whether it is right or whether we apply them in a right perspective in our life. Because knowledge is one where it has to be more of an application rather than supplying the things. Though today I am this is my personal views which I am telling today, so that you have to build up your base, which should be very firm and strong. This is 1. Number 2, having a guru in one's life. Now, anybody can be a guru. See, the person who is imparting a positive thing in your life, right from your relative, your brother, your mother, becomes your guru. But a spiritual master who takes you to the next level, leaps and bounds. Arrival of that guru in one's life makes the spiritual journey actually easy. That's at number 2. Second pillar is the arrival of guru in one's life. The scripture knowledge, the guru. Third is meditation. Why I am telling more on meditation is, I always, hammer this meditation as a very, very important thing, because people may consider what is meditation, sitting silently, doing nothing. You are doing nothing, but how? No, this meditation is an active process. It is never a passive process. So many things are getting changed in our brain. I'm going to share you some stunning pictures today of brain. And before I go to the fourth pillar, let me ask a simple question to you. You can type the answer. How many galaxies? See, we are in the Milky Way galaxy. Everybody knows this. Can you guess, without taking the help of a Google, immediately, instantly, how many galaxies are there in the universe? We are not talking of the multiverse, multiple universes. Let me see, scientifically, we have one universe. How many galaxies we have? Let me check the answers also. Like 30-40 seconds exercise. How many galaxies are there? Okay, somebody wrote unlimited, millions. I'll take first 5 answers. If somebody types how many, yeah, uncountable, 2 million, trillions. Okay, now I am going to share my first slide. See, I have seen the answer. Now you see the outline which I am showing you. This is the outline of the brain, and background is our sky. And this is, people may think, what, this is a sketch of a good painter. If you see this all starry small things, this is a picture of our universe. It's a galaxy, and the number of galaxies we are having is 100 billion galaxies. 100 billion galaxies. Now, why I have brought the question of galaxies today? You see, this is the brain. And you know how many neurons? The cells of the brain are called neurons. You know how many neurons are there in the brain? 100 billion. 100 billion galaxies, 100 billion neurons. And you know how much 100 billion जो connect हो रही है सारी चीजों को, that is 300, more than 100 trillion connections are there. You see this? Like in the galaxies, we have cosmic web, because next slide will be more stunning, because if I show this slide to a neurologist who is not expert on astronomy, the neurologist will say both are same, both are neurons in the brain. And if I show this to a astronomy expert, he will say these are all galaxies. But the beauty is, when we are having a combined knowledge, the left, the purplish, the yellow is the brain cells in the brain, and the right are the galaxies. They are same, almost same. And this, the neurons, the connections in the brain, what we call as axons and dendrites, and the galaxy which are connected by the cosmic web. And they are talking to each other. This cosmic web, through the various signals, they are talking to each other. And you see, and this is the network of the brain cells in our brain. You know, the number of connections in a single neuron, there is a story to this. It's going to come next. It's a very amazing story. And you see the connections, and you see the upper picture is the galaxy, lower picture is the neuron. They resemble so much when they are compressed. And the interesting part is, when we see the axons, the neurons, when they are connecting, there is a gap between them. Of course, visibly we cannot see, but ultra microscopically we can see them. Like in the space, we have dark matter and dark energy, which holds whole of our galaxies into one unit, individual galaxy. Otherwise, one galaxy will touch the other galaxy and start spreading. Of course, over a period of time, they do it. Over a billions of years ago, the Andromeda galaxy may get in touch with the Milky Way galaxy. We don't know whether we'll be there at the time or not, but the energy is one. The lower one, the white matter and the gray matter, which is there in the brain, they are like dark matter and dark energy, holding the whole neuron as a single unit. What we call is this 1500 gram structure in our brain. That is the brain. Lot of similarities and lot of energy. 100 billion cells, 100 billion galaxies, cosmic web, interneurons, dark matter, dark energy, white matter, gray matter. Everything is, they are similar. And this is, last year, Google has released this picture. You know what they did? They tried that we will explore the brain to every neurons, every एक न्यूरॉन को हम डिसेक्ट करके वर्ल्ड के सामने हम डेटा डाल देंगे कि ये हमारा ब्रेन है, ये इसका स्ट्रक्चर है, this is the way the brain works. First, what they did, Google and Leishman Lab at Harvard, they took a small piece of brain that is 1 cubic millimeter, and they sliced that in the lab, 5,300 slice of 0.4 nanometer, and they reconstructed individual axons and neurons and took the photograph, about 2.5 million photographs, 2D photographs. And they clubbed everything into a 3D picture and brought an atlas. This I am talking about 1 cubic millimeter. And the revelation were two. One is, if you see this structure, the blue structure center, it's a neuron. Each neuron is having 4,000 connections. See, they have basically coded this into red, blue, orange, yellow, green, everything. 4,000 incoming impulses they have seen. This is number one. And you know how much data was there? That is 1.4 petabytes. If somebody asks, today I was not knowing how much is the petabyte before I saw that. You know, our normal computer, we have one 512 GB, TB, 1024 terabyte. TB is 1 petabyte, and that 1 millimeter of brain information was collected in 1.4 petabytes. The Google said, this is ridiculously highly evolved computer our brain is. Let us stop this research. It is not possible in a single lifetime, and we don't have that much petabyte to store. This is 1 petabyte is almost the NASA sends the pictures every year. 1 year picture will be stored in that 1 petabyte. And imagine 1 cubic millimeter of brain is taking 1.4, the 1500 grams. It is out of question. So this is what I actually want to bring into the focus. This is how the extent of our brain, their communication, their connection is there. Now, once we know that much picture, that much knowledge is there, we surrender. We surrender, telling it is not possible. Maybe some automatic download mechanism, the help of our scriptures, the Guru in our life, the meditation, and the most important, the 4th pillar, our self-effort. If we don't have effort in our life, first 3 is not going to help. The grace will flow if we have effort. Then the question arises, how to improve that effort? Then we have to know about our mind. Mind is not brain, mind you. The brain is a different entity, the mind is a different entity, but one thought is always there. Is the mind a functional aspect of brain, or the brain is a structural component of the mind? It may be either way, but most of the scientists, and including me, the brain is the seat of the mind, but it is not the mind. Like you are listening to me sitting on a chair, sofa, wherever you are not that sofa or the seat. The brain is the seat of the mind, but brain is not the mind. Brain is something bigger than mind is something bigger than the brain. It is covering many aspects. And problem with this is the mind. People think that mind is different, the intellect is different, the ego is different, the body is different. You know, we in the art of living, we teach the 7 levels of existence: the body, the breath, the mind, the memory, intellect, ego, and self. Somebody asked me in a university, where is the mind? Just have you dissected and seen? Actually, they are interconnected. You know, I was reading an article by one Dr. Sunil Pandya in one of the literature way back couple of decades ago. He is a surgeon from Mumbai. He's written a very nice article, and couple of stories I would like to share from that. See, if we want to study the function of the brain, it is not possible. But what we have done is, when a person gets surgery with the brain, when it is removed, certain functions were destroyed. Similarly, there was a story of one Finnish railway, working in a railway engine factory in the US in 1843. He was a very loving person, honest. Everybody wants to be in his company. Everybody loved him. Everybody called him for the party. But one day he met with an accident, and a rod entered his zygomatic and came out through the brain on the right side. And after few weeks to months, when he recovered, he was physically normal. Everything was okay, but the things have changed. He became more vulgar, more violent, dishonest, disrespectful. Ultimately, he has to be checked out of his job. What happened? It means the frontal lobe which we are having, it serves certain function both ways. Then they found out that the damage to that particular area caused disinhibition of lot of functions, and suddenly there was a manifestation of the other way around. And that surgeon further quotes, I tried to dissect and search where is the mind. He couldn't find any mind, because the mind is something very functional aspect of our being. And in that functional aspect, we have to know very clearly that when our mind is focused or not focused. Who is running the mind? Because we know when we are not focused, our mind starts wandering. Once the mind starts wandering, we are having all sort of unhappiness, anxiety, regrets, and of course, the important network of the brain that is called as default mode network that starts functioning. It means we have to go beyond mind and see how we can explore. And in that context, the third pillar is going to help you. That is the meditation. You know, last time when I came, I introduced a meditation called as let go meditation. Today, because that meditation is going to be very, very interesting and important, because this is the first time I am going to, I've experimented with few people, but online or in a group, I'm going to do this first time. Two important things, because we are not going to do at the last, we're going to do now in next 2 minutes, because we are going to carry on from there today's talk and see what we are going to get into it. So this meditation is called as 5 breath meditation. The way to do it, I'm going to tell you, very simple. We have to inhale through our nose, whatever time, 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 5 counts, 6 counts we do, but we are exhaling through our mouth. The length of the exhalation should be more than inhalation by at least 2 to 3 counts. Say I inhale 1, 2, you don't have to count, but when you exhale through it should be as slow as possible, going for say 6 to 8, 6 to 10 seconds. And how many times we are going to do? Just 5 times. And what are we going to do after that? This will be done with the closed eyes, not open eyes. It should be closed eyes. I will guide you. The second part is very, very interesting. Once you finish with those 5 breaths, just close your mouth and see what is happening in your upper part of the body, particularly head and neck, and what you are feeling. It is the observation of the feeling which is important, rather than you invite your feeling. You don't have to think, I'm feeling nice, I'm feeling good. No. You have to just feel what is happening. Just become an observer that what is happening. This few minutes I will take, and I will tell you to open the eyes, be with the instructions, so that we have a maximum experience. These people who have done along with me, they had some experience which I'm not going to share. I'll share after the meditation. So the important thing is, very, very important pillar is meditation. Now, somebody may ask, what does meditation do? And you have already said about axons, cosmic web, gray matter, white matter. Lot of things are happening. Now in meditation, there are 5, 6 interesting, important changes occur in the brain. Our brain, people think that once we are grown up, our brain is not going to change. Its structure is going to remain static. No. Now there is something called as neuroplasticity. This is another thing. Neuroplasticity is a rewiring of the brain, and the brain reorganizes itself depending upon whatever the stimulus we are providing to the body. Now, if somebody is thinking very positively, their certain neurons get excited. Somebody is doing one type of meditation, some neurons is getting. Everybody will have a different type of meditation: awareness meditation, mindful meditation, Sahaj Samadhi meditation. The bottom line is all the meditation will lead to certain changes in the brain in a positive way. And the most important changes which I'm going to tell you is, number one is the area for intelligence, the multitasking, deeper thinking, deeper knowledge, particularly the frontal lobe. The gray matter and the white matter, gray matter's volume, the thickness, their connections, they improve. It means as we age through, the neurons get degenerated and the brain gets atrophied, shrunken, which is going to happen in a chronic meditator also, but it will be slowed down significantly. If say, I am doing meditation for last 15-20 years, and my brain weight is like 1.5 kgs. When I become 70, my brain may be like 1.4 kgs, but the people who are not meditating, they may be 1.3 kgs. 100 grams of brain, 1 cubic millimeter has got so many neurons. You see amount of benefit which you are going to get. That's the number one. Number two, the area for learning and memory, particularly the area for hippocampus. Hippocampus is the area for learning, memory, and also the area for our, behavior, the depression part which occurs because of the scar on the hippocampus. Its thickness increases, connectivity gets better. The third area is amygdala. Amygdala is the area for our anxiety, restlessness, emotional area. It actually shrinks. It means you become more fearless, more open, more, open to the suggestions. Then, of course, we have certain areas, the area which I was talking about, default mode network. That's a medial frontal lobe, posterior cingulate gyrus, amygdala, hippocampus, they are all connected. Like a person is having a not focus, he is wandering here and there. The nature has created a cushion that he should not wander more, he should be controlled. Default mode network will start functioning and it will be under the hand of that network. But the moment he does some focused work, focused job, meditation, and he becomes more aware of its action, DMN, default mode network, goes to the background. We defy that and we become more aware. These are the interesting things. And of course, meditation will help in new adolescent people, teenagers. Their concentration is always wavering. In American schools already they have meditation break. In the school there is a meditation break. Morning, evening there is a break for the meditation. That's a very interesting concept. And even the multinationals, they have this concept. And people who are addicted, say for example smoking, it helps in decoupling of that. When they leave, it decouples that withdrawal symptom, and he doesn't crave for it. Meditation does help in that. So these are the benefits which are there with the meditation. Now the question arises: I have done meditation, I am doing meditation. What next? What is the purpose of life? See, one stage you are going to get this question for sure. You get on a Sunday morning, you don't like TV. On that day, of course, I don't want that spiritual holistic group should have 1 week break or something like that. If they have a break, in that 1 hour, you will sit, start thinking. When a person gets bored, a spiritual person, when gets bored, he gets a deeper thoughts. What am I doing in this life? You know, if you see last 2 years of this talks, somebody has spoken on regression, past life regression. Somebody spoke on chakras. Somebody spoke on various things. One question arises: what is the purpose of all this knowledge? What are things which we are doing? What is the purpose of life? What have I done from the child? I have become doctor. Somebody has become CA. What next? Where I will be after when I die? Because I'm sure what we are carrying is the energy. Energy cannot be destroyed. It will carry on. Where I will be, that question once arises. Then the question arises, what is this life all about? I asked my mother and also my wife, who is also very, active in spirituality. What is the spontaneous, answer? Hey, life is a game. It's a game. Just play and go. Nothing else. It's just an illusion. It's just an illusion. Well, a hallucination. That reminds me of a very interesting book which I want to suggest. If the people who are beginning, please don't read that book. For the beginner, Patanjali Yoga Sutra. They niyam, asana, pranayam, they do. Next level, if they want to go like Bhagavad Gita and Astavakra Gita. But if you want to read a last book, Vasishta's Yoga Vasisht. Once you read Yoga Vasisht, the chapter says it will describe each and everything from the beginning to now. The main important statement in the beginning which they gave, if you understand that, suddenly you will start thinking. The statement says the whole is on non-duality. There is no two. They don't tell that there is a one only, but they say there is two. If there is one, there should be two. They say there is no two here. In that context, in that book, Yoga Vasisht, the Ramas, there are dialogues, how the Rama asks the question to Yoga Vasisht, and he answers in the chapter. The space, how the behavior of the seeker, the creation, the existence, the dissolution. In that, I want to tell you a very interesting and a funny story in that. Story of 3 unborn princes. One child asked his nanny to tell a story. The nanny says, okay, I will tell you a very interesting story. Listen properly. She starts, there was a very beautiful city yet to be formed, where there are 3 princes, 2 were unborn, 1 was yet to be conceived. 2 were unborn, 1 yet to be conceived. And they said all the relatives in the city beautiful died, and they moved to a jungle, which was like a desert. And the simple grass pierced them, and the sun was beating very highly. It was hot and humid. They saw 3 trees. 2 were unplanted, 1 was non-existing. They sat under those trees restfully and felt good and moved on in search of water. They found 3 rivers. 2 were dry, did not have water. They dived in that water. They quenched their thirst. They swim around. They felt exhilaratingly, fantastically, fantabulous. Come out and went to a city, beautiful, which was yet to be planned. In that, 3 palaces were there. Beautiful palaces. 2 were destroyed. 1 was pulverized. Did not have walls. They went into that palaces. In that palace, they saw beautiful 3 sets of plates. 2 sets were broken badly. One was pulverized. They went to the kitchen and made food, taking 99 minus 100 rice seeds and cooked. And they called great sages. 2 did not have lower body. 1 did not have mouth. The sages came and eat and felt very nice. And the remaining rice they partook. Unborn conceived child ate. They felt very nice and lived happily ever. This is the story which goes. Then suddenly the Rama said, "What are you talking, Yoga Vasishtha ji?" They said, "This life is nothing but the story of 3 unborn princes. It is just illusion, hallucination. It is conceived, it is born, it is destroyed. Conceived, born, destroyed." You go through that book, Yoga Vasishtha. Only thing is you need extraordinary meditation, basic concept to move to that level. That's, I call it the last book, Yoga Vasishtha's Yoga. So once you know what's the purpose of this life, what am I doing, suddenly you have a switch. Oh, this is a game I have to play, but you have to play well. Because if you don't play, if one doesn't play well, the cycle continues, the ups and downs continues. So the next question arises, I am doing my meditation yoga for last 15, 20 years, whether my progress is good or not. There are few things which I am going to tell. These are excerpts from Sri Ravi Shankar Ji Gurudev's talk, where a question was asked, Gurudev, how will I know that my spiritual progress is very good, or my progress is in tune with the other aspects? So he gave few points. Number 1 point, he said, just see whether you are aware and conscious about your negativities as well as good qualities. Number 2, he said, how broad-minded you have become. How broad-minded you have become. Number 3, how good qualities you have developed, intuitive and good qualities you have developed. You assess from previous year and now. Number 4, how quickly you come back from the anger and frustration. How quickly you come back. See, you may become happy now, unhappy now, you may become angry, everybody becomes angry, but how quickly you come back to the normalcy. That's the 4 point here. The last point here said, how unending smile you have in your life. Unending love, good qualities. See, we talk with the friends sitting, all superficial talk, what you have taken for the breakfast, what you have done dinner, where are you going for this summer, all superficial. This is all, superficial talks. How deep etiquettes, good qualities, and love and ever-ending smile. These are the 5 points which I have told. If somebody makes a tick mark on this, their spiritual, they can have their own laboratories among themselves. They can check whether they have done a good job or not. That you can search. Then the question again further arises. If the non-duality is there, why there is so much diversity? Why there is diversity? Because the divine loves diversity. Number of fruits, the color of fruits, the apple, bananas, the peaches, the berries, so many different color fruits. If you have only one banana, one type of fruit, only banana fruit, we will go banana. We will go bananas rather. Same thing. Pastry shop you go, so many colors, so many different pastries. One wheat is there, so many preparation. One wood we have, so many furnitures. Similarly, why the God or the divine comes into one form? He can come in the form of Rama, he can come in Krishna, he can come in Jesus, he can come in, he will also come. He loves diversity, no? That's why we have to imbibe this diversity and move on. So finally, before I conclude, of course, this diversity principle also, the Gurudev has spoken on this very beautifully, Sri Sri, the excerpts from them only. So finally, to conclude, the 4 pillars. Remember these 4 pillars, the scriptures we need to apply, the Guru in our life, the grace will flow. Guru, you know, recently there was a lot of things why we need a Guru. Definitely we need a Guru because you are venturing into an unknown territory. If you are venturing into unknown territory, if you don't have GPS system, you will wander here and there. That's where somebody called Guru positioning system, GPS system. You need that. Number 3, meditation. And number 4, your self-effort of discriminatory power, your vivek, which is required. With this thing, I wish everybody a happy new year coming up and a spiritual life. We need these things in our life for ourselves and our surroundings. Thank you for listening, everybody.